All right, how is it going, my magnificent sons of bitches? I've decided to go ahead do a little bit of an early video since, I had a lot of shit to do. Not to mention I was flagged on Twitter the other day. Uh, Thank you, Melanie Mac. You freaking flag it for flagging my shit down. Twitter's kind of a joke, anyways. It's kind of like the rest of these sites that actually I do videos on, like YouTube. It's kind of like slowly dying and whatnot. However, I figured, you know what? I got flagged on Twitter and I had a whole lot of shit to do yesterday before I got home. And I said, I'll just go ahead and put off this ridiculous Raw review. And why am I even watching Raw? That's what I said after I went ahead and watched a few of the clips. It was lame. And mind you, that I want to go ahead and make one thing abundantly fucking clear. This is why Raw is going to be taken off of the USA Network, because why would you have this product that has no intentions of trying to appease any kind of real fan base? I don't even know what the fuck Raw is doing, to be honest with you, after watching this. And I don't even know. So if my segments are out of order, forgive me, because I didn't watch Raw. I just watched the clips to see if I would potentially be interested in getting back into watching wrestling. I watched SmackDown, and there's some stuff to like on SmackDown. I watch Raw, and it is an utter fucking shit show. Like, the writing is garbage. I guess now it's going to be a feud between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, which they really haven't done a lot with Drew. Maybe they'll go ahead and incorporate him into the bloodline. I'm hoping so, but I don't even know what the fuck is going on with that story, as they've kind of like distanced the shit that's on Raw that's utter crap. And it's just, there's nothing really left to say. I mean, the marginalized fans that are on Twitter that support Cody are not worth marketing to. Your Twitter fans, these fans that Tony Khan has already shown that there is no market for wrestling on Twitter. So if you're going off of Twitter trends, if you think you're going off of some trendy sensation or whatnot that seems to be trending on Twitter, you're wasting your time, because you're never going to accumulate any kind of meaningful fan base off of these trends. And to be honest with you, there's not really a lot of trends anywheres anymore, because they've censored and suspended that. People don't even really traffic any of these sites. So it's kind of hard to tell where society is right now as far as trends go anyways. The NFL is finding this out with the backlash from the Black National Anthem and the Taylor Swift thing. If you go back and look up the like to dislike ratio, you can get a plug in. You can tell that the backlash from it is a hell of a lot more than the mainstream media, which nobody's going to waste their time in watching, is going to project out there. So with that being said, I come across a segment where and like I said, I'm sure that there's other matches. It's a 3-hour show. It's a 3-hour waste of time. Whenever people are watching the show and they're finished with their 3-hour show and they're questioning their life and what they're doing with it, then you know that your product is probably shit. And that's what I feel whenever I watch these clips. Just get me through this clip. This is absolutely horrible. So the first clip I'm going to go ahead and talk about was the, I think it was the Judgment Day and Gunther and his guys. And we could see that there's no real character in it. These guys that are in wrestling need to be developed. They need to be able to identify with a character. You need a character, not a gimmick, not a putting on a fucking dildo and running around the fucking arena like New Day. You need a character. The Undertaker is a character. The Ultimate Warrior was a character. Stone Cold was a character. The Rock was a character. Triple H, the Game was a character, and it was an extension of their own personalities, but it was a character nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? So, there's no character development for any of these guys. It's just like a bunch of gamer nerds decided to get together and create an E-Fed. It's much like A&W wrestling. So we're hearing these guys sit there and I guess somebody won something at the elimination. And this shows you how much I care about the product. I don't. Somebody had supposedly won a right to pick a champion, and he was going to go after Gunther's belt, but you really don't get any real conclusive answers because Gunther keeps asking, "What belt are you? What are you going to go for? What are you going to go?" Yeah, motherfucker, he's clearly telling you that he intends of going after your title and to get into a feud with you. But at the same point in time, these guys are having feuds with the New Day and Kofi. One of them is, and it's not anything that I really care about. It's like I said, whenever you're pulling in 0.56 ratings, you're not setting the fucking wrestling world on fire. So nobody's going to miss your product. But if you could stay at least consistent with the story, thank you very much. That would be nice. So these are boring promos. You got Damian Priest and Dominique fucking Mysterio, who he's a cheaper version of Andy. He doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the attitude. He doesn't have the appeal. But most of these guys are gamer geeks. You know what I'm saying? The closest thing that they're and that's basically what we have running in WWE. This is basically what I guess makes up a professional athlete in the professional sports wrestling genre today. So you got Dominique Mysterio, you've got Damian Priest. The promo, the exchange feels very flat. I don't feel like I'm engaged in it. Damian Priest looks like he's a believable type of guy, but I'm not feeling anything from him. There's no real charisma. It just feels forced. A lot of this shit does. The shit with Gunther feels forced. And I just, it's nothing that's going to draw me in. So then we get into a segment with Boy George, Rhea Ripley. I swear to God, she looks like Boy George. And there's just, with her boyfriend, Dominique Mysterio. And, it's a cheap ripoff of China and Eddie and Latino Heat. But of course, this doesn't have the appeal of Latino Heat. You could tell that fans are not invested into the Dominique. The fans are, but you're talking about the marginalized fans that you've reduced the product to these days. They probably believe it's some for real shit with Boy George and Wish Eddie Guerrero and coming out and confronting Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch is dressed like one of the fucking Mario brothers. She might as well have had fucking Chelsea Green come out as Luigi in green and stand beside her and do a Mario Brothers gimmick. Once again, it's a forgettable promo. So forgettable that, I don't even know what to sit there and say. Mommy gets whatever, I guess that's supposed to be fucking Rhea Ripley's thing as being mommy or mama or whatever the fuck. And nobody cares. There's it's all generic looking shit and there's no real organic reaction. I don't see this going anywhere. Nobody cares about Becky Lynch. Nobody cares about Rhea Ripley. In reality, you know what I'm saying? The people, you're going to have like a few marginalized fans of maybe 2 million people, but there's not a lot of people that are going to invest into a product like this. So now I got to sit there and think now, what else was it? You had a promo with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre that now they're trying to pretend like the fucking world championship is some for real shit. Which if they wouldn't have killed the world championship at the beginning, whenever Cody was going to choose who he was going to fight for the title, if they would have said, hey, fuck, you know what? This is the world title. This isn't the WWE title. This is the title you want to win because I'm world champion. Roman is just WWE champion. He's the corporate champion. I'm the real champion. And then, they could have had some sort of little feud back and forth, a war of words on that end. But they kind of killed the world championship. Well, now they got to sit there and say, oh, this is a legitimate number one title. This is a main event title. But you've killed the title. And this is, like I said, creative writing, just ridiculous shit. Well, now you got to try to say face and make sure that people understand that this is a main event match. Unfortunately, people are not going to buy into it. They're not going to invest into it. And I'm almost certain that you would probably want to go ahead and get The Rock involved and have, if The Rock isn't going to win the world title, and I get it, he's got XFL, he's got USFL, he's got his movie career, but also he's attached to the board of directors and trying to make this wrestling product work. So if he could at least come in and mentor or, manage um, Drew McIntyre or something like that, he needs to be involved. I would like to see him win the world title, give him the same kind of deal, have Roman Reigns win. And you need a bloodline to take over because the bloodline's really the only thing that's going for WWE at this point in time. It's the only thing that's going to get any interest from people outside of wrestling is the bloodline and the shit that they got going. And if you bring in The Rock, we can see that the Rock is going to bring in ratings. We see this in the videos whenever he's getting 5 million views on his videos here, 3 million there. You're not going to get that from Cody. You're not going to get that from Seth Rollins. You're not going to get that from Drew McIntyre. The problem is that your Drew McIntyres, your Seth Rollins, even your Bobby Lashley's and your Roman Reigns need somebody to come in and get interest into their product. Simultaneously, they need to work on their characters. They need to develop characters that's going to tell quality stories in the ring. And they need to work on their charisma, work on their promos, work on being, connecting with the greater population rather than just a bunch of rabbit-ass fucking Dungeons and Dragons versions that watch this shit right now. Because that's not going to be able to hold your company up, particularly as big as WWE is, and it's a publicly traded company. So your stockholders are going to want some returns. Me being a fucking stockholder is going to want, you to go out there and, since you've got the deal with Fox, now you're on Netflix, we want you to go ahead and put up quality brand. And if you're not going to do that, then we need to go ahead and think about changing somebody like a Nick Khan, whoever's in charge of making these fucking decisions and putting these people in places. We need to go ahead and think about maybe making some changes over there and get in people that do understand the business, that do care about the business, and that will go ahead and create a product that people will like. Right now, you had Cody Rhodes. No, you're absolutely 110% fucking wrong, Christian. Fucking right now, the position that Raw's in, they should go to fucking Lifetime or Hallmark. I think that Cody Rhodes gave a fucking gender reveal for his fucking baby at the end. And this isn't just to sit there and say that just a couple of years ago, they had a baby shower for Becky Lynch on Raw. So, I mean, the shit is just absolutely a joke. It's garbage. You're not going to... Why the hell is wrestling trying to get a female fan base? The females who already watch wrestling because they like the product the way it was. They're not going to get in with these fucking virgin-ass, simp-ass motherfuckers. They're going to find it not as desirable when you have guys like The Rock or Stone Cold or The Undertaker. Women are going to gravitate to it because they're going to follow these guys because they captivate an audience. They're appealing. People want to know more about them. They tell a good story in the ring. Women are not going to fall for some simpish fucking nerdy geek, a fucking Logan Paul, and a damn Kevin Owens going, well, you're a negative Nancy. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. LA Knight's he's a fucking dog, dude. He's one of the fucking guys on that roster where if you see LA Knight on a promo, if you see LA Knight doing his thing in the ring, you're going to watch. He's one of those guys that can captivate. Bobby Lashley is another one of them guys. If given the opportunity, if given a little bit of freedom and stuff like that, we know what Bobby Lashley can do. We know he could bring in an audience. He can captivate. He's believable in and out of the ring. There's people there that they could work with. Oh yeah, LA Knight, Braun Breaker should be the face of WWE. I think that Braun Breaker has a lot of fucking potential. It's another guy who's going to come out being related to Ric Flair. It's going to be ahead of the game. I've seen a lot of his stuff. I like what he I like what Braun Breaker brings to the table. I didn't, like I said, I didn't even know. Whenever I looked at him, I said, "Man, he reminds me of the dog-faced gremlin, Rick Steiner." And they said, "Oh yeah, he's the son of the dog-faced gremlin." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well that makes sense because his dad was incredibly athletic for a guy his size." So yeah, there's pieces there to work with, but the sheer fact is that WWE focuses. They put their weakest links up there uh, and give them as much camera time. Cody Rhodes hasn't been developed properly. Cody Rhodes doesn't know how to captivate, tell a story, doesn't know how to do a hell of a lot of he doesn't understand a lot of the psychology of the business. Why are you trying to push this guy as being a legitimate face when you know he's not able to fucking carry the company? Roman is still as a heel. Cody suck. Logan is a scammer. Kevin, I like Roman as a heel. I don't think he's still at all. And in fact, some of the shit that he does, he is the quintessential heel. You look at Roman, you're going to believe Roman. Whenever he's going out there and he's doing that high chief, I'm telling you that the fucking bloodline is the only thing that's working. That's the only thing that's WWE has done that's worked. And they need to build off of that. They need to build off of that, bring in The Rock, go ahead and use this, strike while the iron's hot. I know that a lot of people are like, well, Roman's been champion for 1,260 days or whatever the hell it is right now. And he needs to be champion a lot longer. Why? Because you want Roman's first loss to mean something, to get somebody over. Cody, you're not going to do anything with. I know that Cody and LA Knight are pretty much the same age. But like I said, people like LA Knight. You know what I'm saying? If you use that to go ahead and legitimize LA Knight, help LA Knight get over, then you can move him in to that position of being a face until you can get over another heel. Maybe you bring in Braun Breaker to be another heel. Maybe you bring in an MJF to come in and be a chicken shit heel or something. Maybe you bring in some other guys that are already, ready to come in. And then you start getting rid of these fucking guys like Cody and Seth who are, they're mid-card guys. If you want to send them to the mid-cards and make them mid-carders, that would be fine. I'm not sitting there saying that you had to fire them. But they're not main event guys. They're transitional champions at best, and you're not going to do anything with them. Roman is all right, but WWE booking him so bad. But I'd rather have him over Cody. Oh, absolutely. I hope Roman do a political move, Cody, and win. Yeah, I mean, it's Cody's gonna, like I said, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put Cody as the WWE champion and make him the face of SmackDown, and then what's gonna happen with Roman? Is Roman gonna leave? Because I guarantee you, if Roman leaves and move away and go with Cody and Drew McIntyre, nothing against Drew. I like Drew. I think Drew's got some potential there. I don't think it's kind of one of those things to where it's not really Drew's fault. But the ratings are going to go into the complete and utter shitter if you have Cody and Drew as your fucking faces of this product, and then you move on from what it seems to be working right now. And if you waste this fucking title reign on Cody, well, then I can guarantee you that the company's in a lot of fucking trouble if they're going to waste this title reign that Roman has on Cody. That means that they don't have any plans for the future. That means that they don't plan on developing any of these guys like LA Knight, and you got Braun Breaker coming out. It means that, because those guys, Braun Breaker still hasn't even made it to the big time yet. And so you're never going to get over Cody. It's going to be exactly what happened with Daniel Bryan. And then you're going to go back into purgatory just like you did after Daniel Bryan and just continuously lose more and more and more ratings, which, it is what it is. Like I said, all I can do is watch clips right now. I'm not going to invest in Peacock until they make it worth my while to invest in Peacock. It's the same thing with Twitter. I'm not going to get a blue check mark until it's worth my while to get a blue check mark. Then I might go ahead and pay the $8.99. I'm certainly not going to fucking invest in fucking, YouTube Premium or Prime because you motherfuckers have gotten rid of accounts and shit like that. And so why would I go ahead and pay to be a member of a social media platform that has repeatedly fucking terminated my channels, canceled my channels, uh, you know, uh, suspended me from my channels and whatnot where I can't even use them? Why would I go ahead and invest into your product at this point in time? It just wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. And so, yeah, it's the same thing with Raw. Why would I invest in Peacock if you're not going to deliver a quality product that's going to be entertaining? If you're going to go the Cody Road route and y'all are going to be doing gender reveals where blue smoke, oh, it's a boy, and you're going to do fucking baby showers, and take that shit to Lifetime. There's no need for me to even watch it or pretend that there's a fucking wrestling, bring in, if it was me, I would bring in a guy like, who could really help the business out and whatever, I would invest in a guy like, Billy Corgan, because Billy Corgan gets it. Out of everybody that's running a wrestling promotion right now, Billy Corgan is the one guy who truly, genuinely cares about the product. I don't see anybody else caring about the product. And all these, other guys can sit there and say what they want to, about Raw and about A&W wrestling. Like I said, right now, the best thing going is SmackDown. And I still say that NWA, from what I've seen, is still better than SmackDown, to be honest with you. NWA is better than SmackDown. It's better than A&W wrestling. I haven't seen TNA, but from what I have seen of TNA, it's better than TNA. And it's certainly better than fucking Raw. Raw is absolute trash. Raw and AEW are competing for the fucking worst product of wrestling forever of all time. Of all time. So, anyways, I figured I would go ahead and do this video. I figured I would go ahead and do it early. You people tell me what you think. Do you still have confidence in the product? Do you still believe that there's something salvageable in this fucking product? Because I like some of the stuff on SmackDown, but like I said, the booking is bad right now. The writing is terrible right now. You can't depend, it's inconsistent. You can't depend on the creative team to do the right thing. So what do you think that wrestling is a position in? You'll like, follow, friend, sub, do the shit the internet tells me to do to get over. And for now, I'm out.